Hi everyone, it's Sam, NFTstatistics, and this is your Proof Daily NFT Countdown coming at you from Canvas 3.0, where tonight we are going to be hosting an event for Moonbirds, for Proof Collective, and it's going to be awesome. So come if you can come. It is an Oculus, which is by World Trade Center. So here we go. A lot to talk about today. I went out last night. You can hear it in my voice. I don't go out that much. I'm 41. I stay home most of the time. But last night I went out. You can hear my voice. But I'm going to keep bringing you content every single day, every weekday. Going to talk about this Outlaws collection that minted. Going to talk a bit about what happened with Franklin and a whole bunch of other stuff. Let's get right into it. Starting with a quick market overview. Volumes were up. Someone told me yesterday in New York, you don't have to show us the volume chart. It doesn't tell us anything. So maybe I won't, but tell us what you think in the comments. Do you like this volume chart? Showing it to you today in terms of where was the most volume. Wrap CryptoPunks, 9,000 ETH, vast majority right there. Unique buyers down a little bit. We had a little stretch where buyers were increasing, but down again. So that's not too good to see. And in terms of prices, again, this was just a really weak day for prices, down 2% in ETH terms. I've showed you this before. Prices were up in ETH or in US dollar terms. So, with ETH at 2,100, obviously decent for JPEGs when it comes to US dollar prices. Now, one of the things I've talked about before, I'm going to show it to you again. A lot of people say when ETH prices go up, that's bad for NFTs. And that's not really true. What this chart looks at is how NFT prices perform relative to ETH prices. And what you can see is that when ETH prices are anywhere from down 10% to up 15% over the course of a week, that tends to be good for NFTs. It's only when you get these really drastic moves of 15% or more that you really see weakness in NFTs. And over the past week, ETH is only up 10%. So this isn't kind of in the zone that you would normally say is really damaging for NFTs. I think we're seeing weakness for other reasons. I think the blur dynamics, I just think the negative momentum are having a much bigger impact on that. You can see right there. In terms of which NFTs were up, VFriends up 10%, CloneX, Guttercats, Moonbirds all down in the large cap index. Mid-cap index was also down as well. You had some strength in Forgotten Ruin Wizards and weakness Sappy Seals, A Kid Called Beast, Opepin Edition, a little bit of weakness there. In terms of our projects, there were only 2 projects that did more than 10 ETH of volume, Chromie Squiggles and Fidenzas. We actually talked about the Fidenza sale yesterday, but let's talk about a couple other projects that we normally don't talk about where you did have a couple sales. The first here is this Chromie Squiggle. You can see a fuzzy sold for 12 ETH. Pretty low for that for a fuzzy, which is generally a pretty rare kind of grail Chromie Squiggle. A 4 ETH sale in the upper right here, that's Genesis by DCA. And the bottom left, you can see a Fragments of an Infinite Field. That sold for 1.6 ETH. I think that's kind of a cool NFT. I haven't looked at that in a while. Nice to see that. And then a 1.6 ETH sale for Edifice. So not a whole lot of art block sales, but that's where we saw the volume. Second thing I want to talk about is Franklin Woes. And I don't like to talk about other people's misfortune, but it does have a big impact on this marketplace. I think it really has a big impact on the market. And Franklin, one thing I love about Franklin is this guy's always transparent. He does tell you exactly what he's doing, and you can decide what you think of it. But let's give a little bit of overview of what happened to Franklin. He said, due to an unfortunate real-life issue, I had to sell a lot of his apes in order to pay off BendDAO loans. Okay, he later said people started guessing what happened here. And he said his personal P&L on Rollbit Gamble. So Rollbit is a website where you can go. It's kind of a crypto website where you can go and gamble on sports events, on other things. And he said that he lost 650 ETH there. But there also was another loss where he lost 2,000 ETH. So you put that all together, and that is a lot of ETH for someone like Franklin to lose, especially given he has a lot of leverage from BendDAO, a lot of exposure to apes. A couple of my quick takeaways. One is I think there's a lot at play here because Franklin's someone who kind of, whenever there are opportunities, he takes advantage of them. So he's deep in BendDAO, a lot of loans there. He also licenses his apes, which I think makes it harder to sell the apes that he has licensed and made a fair bit of money off in the past. I think there's the Rollbit losses. And my sense here also is that he also backed other traders who lost a lot of money, and he lost a lot of money there as a result. What was the impact on the market? First, as you saw the Bored Ape Yacht Club trades go from about 58 ETH to 52 ETH. So a lot of weakness because Franklin kind of had to, I don't want to say desperate, but pretty desperately sell the apes that he was long. You also saw that he took a huge P&L loss. If this chart here looks at Franklin's apes, basically since the beginning of season 2, kind of where was his profits, where were his losses, and he's net been down a little bit until now, but really took about a 430 ETH loss just on the apes. So you add that to the other losses that he has taken. You had more apes trade yesterday than really any day since the beginning of season 2. That tends to sometimes be a good thing, but when prices are going down and you see a lot of volume, especially with Blur, that can mean that a lot of people are dumping into bids and that there's more weakness ahead. There were 123 ape trades yesterday. And then the other thing is that Ben Dow loans are getting triggered. Remember, Ben Dow, when the floor prices get to a certain place, they force liquidation, force auctions for a bunch of apes. You can see here that we have a lot that are getting into that zone. There are 90 apes that will have auctions triggered. If we get to 49 ETH floor price, right now you can see the floor price. This here is like the floor price on Blur. It's 52.55. The top bid's 51.8. So we are getting close to a zone where there could be a lot of supply, a lot of people, either who are apes that go into auction, or the buyers really have to find the owners have to find the ETH to go get those back. So hopefully this won't be too triggering, but we have seen, with Blur, that when you start to see, these bids get hit, it can lead to people who don't want those apes getting them, and then needing to sell more and more. So we will see. The other disclaimer I will throw in, and I'm going to throw in this disclaimer because it is important, is that every time I've mentioned Ben Dow, and I've done it like 3 times, every time it's the bottom for apes. So I'm hoping that the NFT market's seeing a bottom, but I can't promise, just putting in that disclaimer. Third thing to talk about, Outlaws. Outlaws, this was just a collection I hadn't heard of that showed up, did a lot of ETH volume, something like 700 ETH of volume. When something I haven't heard of does 700 ETH of volume and it seems legit, 11,000 trades, I think it's a good thing to talk about. This is from their website. This looks just kind of like another art PFP project with a bunch of trades and kind of interesting things going on, an art form that people seem to identify with. A little bit about it from their website. Features a flat illustration style, 10,000 mints at 0.04 to 0.05 ETH. I say 0.04 to 0.05 because it depended on how many you minted over an hour. So this was not like a gas war. Anybody could go and mint it. 6 main trade categories, and the reveal is today. The reveal will probably be by the time that you see this video, this reveal will have happened. Let's have a look at the art. Kind of, you got these skulls, you got these different backgrounds, kind of interesting stuff going on there. Now let's look at the prices though, because what I always care about is the prices. Are these going up? Are these going down? That minimum 0.05, first couple hours trades were around there, but then it really caught momentum, really caught attention, and we saw trades all the way up to 0.23 ETH. Right now the floor is looking at 0.18 ETH. Will be interesting to see how this goes. They did a couple honoraries, and I always like honoraries because it shows the creativity of the team. It sees the people they're trying to bring into the project. You just get a feel for the art in a new, unique way. They had D's, Crypto Boomer. Love that guy. Met him in New York. Met that guy in New York yesterday. Des Bryant. I love this shout out to Des Bryant, football player who just had his ape stolen. So at least you got an honorary. That's cool to see. And this Corgan, Corgan, 4,000 followers on Twitter, NFT collector. I thought this was cool because that doodle beard is just so awesome with this art. Look at the Corgan, normal PFP, and look at how this art team kind of converted that into an honorary. I thought that was pretty awesome. That's fun to see. I'm curious how this goes. I don't know if what their plan is, what's going on here. I think this is art people resonate with, and it'll be fun to see how this plays out after the reveal. And last thing to talk about, we'll talk about notable sales. 3 things I want to talk about. The first is a 6 attribute punk sold for 180 ETH. 6 attributes and 6 traits. It's a pretty rare situation. I have 2 punks here. The one on the left is the one that sold yesterday, and then the one on the right sold for 190 about a week ago. I didn't talk about it on the show, but Punks OTC actually bought both of them. Again, Punks OTC, the biggest market maker in the game for punks. Now, what's cool about this category of NFTs, there are only 11 6 attribute punks. You can see basically all the sales they've really ever had in history, because it's just punks don't trade that much. There haven't been that many. And this picture here basically shows that. I've circled in pink 4 sales. There was about a year and a half where all the sales for 6 attribute punks were happening between like 300 and 700 heat. So this was a total grail kind of situation for an NFT. Right now we're seeing these sales at 180, 190, a little obviously a fair bit lower than where they were, but Punks OTC knows this game as well as anyone. So we'll see how that plays out for him. Next trade to talk about, a Diamond Grill ape sold for 68 WETH. Diamond Grill, you hear, these are the past 4 trades of Diamond Grill apes. You can see 78, 122, 135, and 144. So to see one trade at 68 just speaks to how much grails have really fallen in the space. I actually looked at the last time a Diamond Grill traded at this price, and it was in August of 2021. You haven't had a Diamond Grill trade this low since August 2021, which is the 4th month of Bored Ape Yacht Club's existence. So really kind of seeing this compression in premiums, as well as the floor is falling out, like I talked about a little bit earlier. Deep Value NFT, my favorite oracle, they say that this ape was worth 81.5 ETH, so really trading at a discount to what Deep Value NFT thought that ape was worth. Last thing to talk about, let's talk about one art sale. Jigsaw by Beholding Eye. We're in New York, so let's talk about some New York photography. This piece sold for 2.5 ETH. Other sales that this artist has had, he's a photographer whose NFTs are really kind of like these from above images of New York. He's had a bunch of sales in that 1.5 to 2.5 ETH range. I think this was actually an all-time high for him, so congrats to him. Nice to be in New York. Nice to see that all-time high. A little bit about Beholding Eye. He's originally from New York, lived in Colorado, where I live right now, and just really tries to find these unique perspectives from above for New York City, tries to really capture and create intimate moments that highlight kind of the beauty of the city from this really, there's so much happening there, but from above, it's actually quite peaceful, and I think he does that very, very effectively. Cool Instagram he's got. I'm a big fan of this guy's photography, so go check it out. That is all from me. I'm sorry my voice was weird, but it was awesome to be here. Again, hope to see the Moonbirds here tonight at this event. Would love to hang. And I will be back in Colorado on Monday with another show. Tell us what you think. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel. We appreciate you. And we'll talk to you soon.